Okay. This video, I'm gonna talk about not taking accountability. And what I mean by not taking accountability, the main ones that are always talking about taking accountability don't like to take accountability at all. Now, I was listening to my brother Urban T. Shout out to him, go follow his channel. And he had this young black lady up on one of his videos. And basically she was talking about the state of the black community. Basically she was saying how we had thriving black communities, you know, and looking at the state of our community back then doing Jim Crow, structural racism or white supremacy, because I'm not white supremacy. Just saying racism is beyond racism. It's literally white supremacy. So I'm gonna give you a rundown of what she was talking about and gonna pick a lot of the disagreements with her video. You know, first of all, a lot of these people are, especially these black people, that basically, you know, want to follow Charlie Kirk. Now, hey, if you want to follow Charlie Kirk, fine, I ain't gonna knock you. Even though Charlie Kirk really didn't have everything he was saying about the black community, he was taken out of context. He didn't even talk about the reasons why the black community like that. Like, basically people like him just think the black community just turned like that out the void, that somehow after civil rights they gave black people civil rights, and after that it was downhill, not knowing the systematic structures that they put in place to basically further destroy the black community. It just think the black community to get like this out the void, there were certain things and structures they put in place to destroy the black community after the civil rights movement. First of all, we're gonna go and look at the great speech that Malcolm X had him and MLK, Martin Luther King, had when Malcolm X told Martin Luther King we can't integrate into a burning house. That's why I tell people like that woman he had that was, you know, that was talking. That's why I tell the people to go listen to Malcolm X's speech, Ballad of the Book. That speech explained everything to every black person that you need to know. And this is how I know people don't dig deep or do any research before they just come out the blue and say the black community had this and that. And it was. We had a structure under white supremacy, Jim Crow. And yes, we did well, but they don't tell you how a lot of times we was, even then, they threw stumbling blocks in our way. So you got to look at it. Coming out of slavery, we went into what? Jim Crow and structural racism, white supremacy as it was back then. Okay, right now we in what you call neo-white supremacy. Pretty much like neo-colonialism. We under neo-white supremacy, where you don't see it's a hand, but it's a hidden hand. You know, the thing is, when you look at the black community, you got to put all these structures that were put in place to destroy those thriving black communities due to the fact that white folks didn't want to have to compete with a group of people that was doing well. You had these group of people coming out of chattel slavery, and we didn't have no other choice but depend on one another, because at that time, that's how we was all we had. We were all we had. So we mended our communities to the point where we had a thriving black communities coming out of what? All the way from what? Doing Reconstruction, which we never really got the benefit out of, because from day one, right, as soon as we got out of slavery, they already had plans on basically disenfranchising us. You know? So you look at all the way through Jim Crow, how we did when we did have thriving black communities. And that's even amazing of itself that we even had thriving black communities that we did. And we were doing quite well, even up under the structure of white supremacy, of Jim Crow. Now, Charlie Kirk and many others said we did better up under Jim Crow, but see, they're trying to push this whole narrative that well, maybe white people should do the same thing they did like during Jim Crow to subjugate us, but the thing is, to subjugate us with all the systems, the way the black community is now, they know if they did that, we'll never be able to climb up to the top. Because they always prevented that. Even when we did do it, they had to come around and destroy those communities. Like, we could go and talk about all these thriving communities from Black Wall Street in the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. We could talk about Elaine, Arkansas, Slocum, Texas, Chloe, Florida, Roswell, Florida, Wilmington, North Carolina, Omaha, Nebraska, Oliverville, Georgia, which is now, they drowned the whole city up underwater, Lake Lanier, where these white folks were on a bass boat and they used their sonar to look for fish, and they would see structures that were buildings up under this lake. Then you add on the 55 Highway Act, running highways to thriving black communities. Then you add on what? Jim Crow, redlining of the base, gerrymandering. You add on what? COINTELPRO, the assassination of black leaders done by the government. You add on what? COINTELPRO, I already said that. You add drugs in the black community, take away resources, the lack of jobs, then you put in this Gloria Steinem feminist movement where black women jumped aboard, put the man out the house. Then you got urban renewal. You got what you call industrializations of urban areas like Detroit, Gary, Indiana, places like that. And then you just have a whole bunch of people that living in poverty. You got single mamas on the system. Then you don't have no jobs, and then you put in this whole social programs that basically cripple the black community. These are the things that they did to destroy those thriving black communities, and they'll talk about we need to take accountability, but yet they ain't taking accountability for the shit they done. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to say, look at the way the community is now and look, but don't find the reasons and the culprits why that community, and then make it look as though the black community just turned like that out of the void, when it was structures put in place to destroy the black community. So what you have is that community, you have what? Crime, violent crime, mostly due to the narco drug trade that was proliferated in the 80s with the crack cocaine epidemic, Oliver North, and the Iran-Contra affair, and the crack cocaine, all that shit came about. High imprisonment rates for crack cocaine, disparities with crack cocaine than pure cocaine, which they know if white folks got caught with pure cocaine, you get more time for crack cocaine, which is Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, and you had the 1995 crime bill that was put in not only by your Democrats like Bill Clinton and you got Bill Clinton and Senator Biden at the time, but you was running around, you need to lock them up. This is Democrat. Talk about locking black men up. So this is what the community you got is the community that was created. And then they run around here and just say the community just got like that out of the vote. Like somehow these black people are inherently violent, and you got Negroes up there shaking their head to that, not knowing the repercussions of everything they put in to destroy the black community, and not want to take accountability for that shit, not want to give us reparations and tangible for that shit. Like I said, we don't even have to use doggone slavery for the get reparations. We can just use that alone. But yet, when you bring all this stuff up, it comes out to what? Black fatigue. And the real fatigue is white folks taking accountability for that shit. That's the fatigue of them having to take accountability that they don't want to take, and telling you gotta take accountability for a situation that they created. This is why when white folks talk about black people taking accountability, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that bullshit, because we all know this is white man, like Dead Prayer said, this is white man lies, straight bullshit. And if y'all conservative niggas go along with that without digging deep to find the reasons why, the reasons why, how you gonna find a remedy for it? Because there is no remedy for it. They don't want to create a remedy for it. The black community has to be this way so that white people can still be on top. They didn't want to compete with black people thriving. Just the mere thought of you doing well and doing better than them, they hated it. So, if my brother Urban T, this video, hey, it's on her, man. Hey, I wish you could send this video to this woman and tell her maybe she needs to do a lot more research than taking some white man word that basically had a disdain for her and a disdain for black people. Like your boy said, what's his name? Nick Fuentes said, you just got some good coon niggas, and these niggas don't know what they talking about. Over and out.